Welcome back to Tesla Daily News Podcast. Today is Thursday, April 9th, 2026. We're covering the biggest Tesla headlines that actually move the stock: a major full self-driving release, fresh delivery and inventory math, new registration data in Europe, and the macro tailwind from the Middle East ceasefire that lit up risk assets. Let's get into it. Story 1. Macro whiplash is boosting tech and Tesla is riding the wave. Here's the hook. A 2-week U.S Iran ceasefire sparked a global risk-on rally, sending oil sharply lower and tech stocks higher, with Tesla up strongly in pre-market alongside the rest of the mega-cap group. Context. For Tesla, oil prices and interest rate expectations matter because they influence consumer demand, monthly payments, and investor risk appetite. Lower energy prices can cool inflation fears, which can pull down bond yields and support high-multiple growth stocks like Tesla. Details. In the market coverage, Brent crude dropped on the order of the mid-teens percentage range in a single session, and U.S. equity futures surged. Tesla was cited among the top pre-market gainers in the mega-cap cohort. Rate cut expectations also improved, with markets repricing the odds of cuts later this year. Impact. Even if none of this is Tesla-specific, it can move Tesla day-to-day because the stock trades like a hybrid of auto, software, and macro duration. When yields fall and risk appetite rises, Tesla often gets a multiple bid. Takeaway. Today's tape is macro-driven. Investors should separate market beta from Tesla fundamentals because the macro bounce can fade quickly if the ceasefire proves fragile. Story 2. Tesla just shipped full self-driving version 14.3, and the market is trying to decide if it's a catalyst or just noise. Hook. Tesla released what's being billed as a major full self-driving update, version 14.3, and the stock initially bounced off recent lows before giving back some early strength. Context. FSD is central to Tesla's long-term valuation narrative. Bulls see it as the bridge from car company to software and robotaxi platform. Bears see it as long-dated optionality with regulatory and technical risk. Details. Investors Business Daily reported the release of FSD 14.3 Tuesday night, with shares rebounding from a 7-month low but not keeping pace with the broader relief rally. Impact. Near term. Software releases tend to be sentiment catalysts, not immediate revenue catalysts, unless they meaningfully expand take rate, subscription retention, or regulatory approval in new geographies. The bigger valuation lever remains a credible path to unsupervised autonomy and commercial robotaxi. Takeaway. Watch for 2 things. First, user-reported performance and disengagement trends. Second, whether Tesla pairs the software update with pricing, bundling, or subscription strategy that shows up in financials. Story 3. The delivery and production spread is back in focus, and analysts are calling out inventory build and energy storage weakness. Hook. New Wall Street commentary is honing in on the gap between Tesla's production and deliveries, plus a softer energy storage quarter. Context. Deliveries are Tesla's most watched high-frequency KPI. But the spread between production and deliveries can be even more important because it signals demand, logistics, and inventory pressure that can flow into margins. Details. A widely circulated analyst recap cited Tesla delivering 358,023 vehicles in the first quarter of 2026, up about 6.3% year-over-year, while production was 408,386. That implies roughly 50,363 vehicles produced, but not delivered during the quarter. The same coverage flagged energy storage deployments at 8.8 gigawatt-hours, down from 10.4 gigawatt-hours a year ago and below some analyst expectations. Impact. If that inventory delta is demand-driven, it can pressure pricing and automotive gross margin. If it's timing and logistics, it could unwind next quarter. On energy, a down year-over-year quarter can spook investors because storage has been viewed as the steadier growth leg. Takeaway. Going into earnings, the key question is whether the delivery gap reverses quickly and whether management frames energy storage as a timing issue versus a demand issue. Story 4. Tesla registrations rebounded in key markets, and Europe's March data shows a notable snapback in Germany. Hook. Fresh registration data suggests Tesla demand is improving in parts of Europe, with a big March surge in Germany. Context. Registrations are not the same as deliveries, but they're one of the best real-time proxies for demand by country, and they help investors sanity check Tesla's quarterly volume. Details. A German market report citing Kraftfahrt-Bundesamt data showed Tesla registrations in March reaching 9,252 vehicles, up 315.1% year-over-year. The broader German auto market grew, and several Chinese EV brands also posted triple-digit growth rates. Impact. A rebound in a major European market can support the bull case that recent delivery softness was transitional. But it also highlights competition. BYD and other Chinese brands are scaling quickly in Europe, and that can intensify pricing pressure. Takeaway: the bullish read is momentum is returning in Europe. The cautious read is that demand is improving in a more crowded market, which could cap margin recovery. Story 5. Competition is getting sharper, and it's not just the usual legacy automakers. Hook: Xiaomi is actively building out its European EV push by hiring former Tesla logistics and operations talent. Context: one of Tesla's underappreciated advantages has been execution, deliveries, logistics, and direct-to-consumer operations. Competitors closing that operational gap can matter as much as battery specs. Details: a European report said Xiaomi hired Dieter Lorenz, a former Tesla delivery and logistics manager for Central Europe, to lead deliveries and logistics in Europe as Xiaomi prepares for a formal European entry targeted for 2027. The company has also been staffing its European center in Munich. Impact: Xiaomi recruiting Tesla veterans signals serious intent and could accelerate competitor readiness in the region. That's not a tomorrow problem, but it's a real medium-term share and pricing problem, particularly in Europe, where Tesla is already facing intense EV competition. Takeaway: watch Europe as a competitive battleground. Tesla's moat increasingly has to be software, charging, cost, and manufacturing speed, not brand alone. Story 6. A big robotics and autonomy warning shot from competitors. Volkswagen's Moia and Uber are testing autonomous ID. Buzz vehicles in Los Angeles. Hook: Uber is expanding its autonomous ride-hailing partnerships, and Volkswagen's autonomous unit Moia plans to scale a test fleet in Los Angeles. Context: Tesla's robotaxi thesis doesn't play out in a vacuum. If multiple credible fleets are live in major U.S. cities, the market may start valuing autonomy based on real utilization and unit economics rather than promises. Details: Moia and Uber said they will test autonomous ID. Buzz vehicles in Los Angeles, scaling to more than 100 vehicles during the test phase. They're targeting ride-hailing availability on the Uber platform by the end of 2026. The report also noted that other players like Waymo already operate driverless service in Los Angeles. Impact: for Tesla investors, this raises the bar. The question becomes, can Tesla's camera-first approach scale faster and cheaper than sensor-heavy rivals, and can Tesla launch commercially with strong safety metrics? Takeaway: the market will compare timelines. Tesla needs clear milestones in Austin and other cities, and investors should track regulatory approvals and real-world service expansion across competitors. All right, quick recap. Today's big themes are: macro relief is supporting Tesla and other high-growth names. Tesla's FSD 14.3 is a sentiment catalyst that needs measurable proof. Deliveries versus production points to a roughly 50,000 unit gap that investors will interrogate. Europe showed a sharp rebound in Germany registrations, and competition is intensifying from China and from autonomous mobility partnerships. What to watch tomorrow: headlines on whether the ceasefire holds, any additional registration or pricing data, and early read-throughs from Tesla owners on FSD 14.3 performance. If you want this every day, subscribe to Tesla Daily News Podcast and follow us wherever you get your podcasts for the next update.